All right, so let's get right into the video. I'm going to start off with my concealer this time. I've been doing that here lately and I feel like it comes off better. So we're going to do Warm Honey, LA Girl Pro, and let's get right into our topic for this makeup and a message. So the topic today is going to be eating disorders. So you'll be like, oh, this is kind of different, but obviously it's very relevant. People do have them and it's very hush hush. Like, a lot of people don't talk about it, and obviously I feel like it would be not talked about considering what's pushed in this day and age. But let's talk about anorexia first, because that's one of, like, I think one, if not the biggest eating disorder. And if you all don't know what that is, I'll go ahead and list that there. So a lot of us can't fathom, like, not eating, you know, or even remotely for days at a time, or, you know, throwing it up or depriving ourselves of something that, you know, is necessary for the body. But we have people out here that do these things, you know. They go to extreme lengths to be this size that society deems as beautiful. And a lot of times it goes to the extreme where they could be so small and still feel fat. And it's really, really scary. It's really, really scary. Not too long ago, I think it was very, very recent actually, one of the cast members off of Big Brother, her name is Nikki Graham. I'll list a picture of her here. She passed away from anorexia.
And now to Nikki Graham, the beloved Big Brother UK and Big Brother Canada star who passed away on Friday at the age of 38.
When I was in there, I didn't have a strategy. My strategy was survival.
Right.
And I formed some incredible friendships.
Oh.
And I think what's important to me is loyalty.
Yeah.
Nikki became a reality TV icon after competing twice on Big Brother UK, and then later played as an international house guest on Big Brother Canada in 2016, finishing in 6th place.
Yes, and although no cause of death has been announced over the years, Nikki has openly shared her battle with anorexia, and last month her friends established a GoFundMe page to help her receive some treatment.
Today, Big Brother fans and alums are paying tribute to Nikki on social media, including Big Brother Canada host Arissa Cox, who says this on Instagram: "Her loss is yet another reminder of how fragile we all are. Nikki, you are missed beyond words, thinking of your friends and family and all those who love you."
Yes, and Big Brother Canada will also honor Nikki during tonight's episode. And if you or someone you love is struggling with an eating disorder, you can call the National Eating Disorder Information Center or visit nedic.ca.
One of my childhood favorites, stars, I guess you call them, or celebrity or whatever, I used to grow up watching Mary-Kate and Ashley. I loved Mary-Kate and Ashley. All their little home videos, had them all.
Up and down, just like a Ferris wheel.
Love them. And Mary-Kate had anorexia. And just to think, like, this young lady from Big Brother passed and nobody even really knew she had it, or at least I didn't know. And you can only imagine. And if you just even was to look on YouTube, you see so many stories about people and them suffering from this eating disorder. And it's just like, wow, I'm like, why does no one talk about this? Like, where does this all come from? And how do you get to a point where you don't want to eat at all? And when you look in the mirror, like, you see this large person and everybody sees someone that's like drastically underweight, like sickly even, is what everybody else sees, but you don't see that. And that's why it's like very, very mental. It's in their heads. So with that being said, we're going to get off of anorexia because I don't want this makeup mesh to be super long. If I want to expand on it in another video, I'll do that. But we're going to also get into obesity, which is like, has probably skyrocketed just in the past decade or so. And not to mention the United States as a whole, like America, like we're so overweight. We're so overweight, like a lot of us compared to other countries. Definitely. Now I'm applying CoverGirl True Matte Foundation, D10 on top. We're tremendously overweight. And then you'll see like the people from My 600 Pound Life, and how they'll eat, and they know. It's like they know that they're overweight, obviously. They know that they're like slowly like eating themselves into an early grave, but they can't stop. That's scary. That is scary. It's just like, it's the lack of self-control there, you know, and just the urge for something. And like with everything, I kind of look for the spiritual aspect of it all. You know, nothing's surface level. You can't, like, you can look at things from what you see. 9 times out of 10 is something to it. And a lot of times we have to open our eyes and see like what's to it, you know? And if I have to describe what I'm talking about for better understanding, I would describe it to alcohol. Alcoholics have this urge, you know? They know that they're drinking themselves into an early grave. They know that they'll continue to do it and continue to do it and continue to do it. They know that it's not good for them, but they still crave it. They still need it. And just like my other video, when I was like, they call it spirits for a reason, I see it as that. Now, I'm not saying that every person that's anorexic or every person that is obese, they're possessed, you know, but sometimes I think it is the case sometimes. And then sometimes it's like you're being influenced. And I saw a clip where it's just like, oh, they're hearing, when they're eating, they're hearing like these thoughts and stuff like that. I'll insert the clip I'm talking about.
Extreme thought disturbance and noise. I want to give you an idea of what that noise sounds like. And so the person who has an eating disorder and has had her breakfast, she's now trying to go to work. She's trying to go to class. And the noise and the disturbance is acute. She's trying to hear her professor through the noise. She's trying to hear her employer talk to her and have an interaction with her. And she's trying to focus through the noise. So how in the world, if she's going to have her breakfast and then she's supposed to have a lunch and she's supposed to have dinner too, and the noise continues to be acute, how can I function? How can I work? How can I have a decent interaction and a clear, focused interaction and get this project done? How? Simply by not eating. If I don't eat, Dr. Hill, please just don't have me eat breakfast. Then I can get this assignment done. And then I'll go ahead and eat something. So then I can go ahead and get something because you say you're needing it. But don't ask me to take that test and eat breakfast too. Because if I do, I have to take the test and think through the noise. I have to finish the assignment and think through the noise. So what do we do to be able to help a person with anorexia whose mental noise is so disturbed, yet they need food?
It's like they were hearing these thoughts and like, oh, you know, imagine how many calories this is. Oh, you're so fat and blah, 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 stuff like that. And it's just like, it's swaying them to make these bad choices to wreak havoc on their bodies, wreak havoc on their lives, and slowly but surely kill you. Okay, after I go over with the foundation, I'm going to go back over with that same highlight, and then I'm going to contour. So if you really look into both these eating disorders, they're like one and the same. They both have this urge to do something that is not in their best interest. They're both being swayed to do something. It's mental in a way. Because it's like, when you think about it, it's like we're with obesity, were they really that hungry?
The bigger problem right now is that in the past 6 weeks, you put back on almost 60 pounds. You want to tell me why that is?
And actually, with the eating habits, I've been doing really, really well. So I don't know, other than the fact that I'm putting on water.
So you're saying you gained 60 pounds of water on a car right here because you're sitting up? That's not reality.
Honestly, I don't know what else I can tell you, but it's the truth. I'm sorry, I can't do this. And I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it back in the taxi like I did. Like, I'm very dizzy, and I think I'm having a heart attack.
You don't look like you are. Now you do.
But they'll eat, they'll overeat, they'll eat, they need it. You know, it's like a drug. And with anorexia, it's like a fear, like anxiety almost too. But it's like, you know, I need to be as small as possible. I need to look this way. I need this image. And same thing. It's like this urge, this never-ending desire for something that I guess is like never really, like, it's like this desire for something that you can't reach, or you shouldn't reach. Which brings me to society's views now. We emphasize these models or people that are just so slim, and you know what our picture of beauty is, what we deem as beautiful. And a lot of times, so like especially with like Instagram models and all this type of stuff, a lot of this is like unobtainable. Like there's no and if you want, it's either you're getting surgery to get the bodies of these thicker models, or you're starving yourself to get the bodies of these type of models. And it's just like, where is the happy medium? Where is the healthy medium? Why does a size 0 or a size 2, when did this become our model of perfection? Who says that you're not beautiful if you're not this size? This is my chestnut LA Girl Pro. I'm going to go in the same areas with my dark cocoa, just to darken it up just a little bit. But oftentimes you're scrolling the people that's on the front of the magazines and this and that, and these younger people see these women and think that's what they're supposed to look like. So of course that's what they strive to look like. And you're thinking, like, these companies are thinking, you know, I'm just making money and this and that. But no, you're starting, you know, this cycle of insecurity. You're spewing out insecurity on young people's lives, you know, and just feeling less than.
At Vogue Australia for 13 years, you worked in the industry for 25 years. So explain to me, what would some of the models do to try and lose weight?
I do want to clarify that this is just a small percentage of the modelling industry, and I have discussed this over the past few days. I think if you really look at the top supermodels, anybody that had longevity in their career was obviously staying in shape the right way. But I certainly heard stories over time that there were, you know, drastic means that the girls were using to stay catwalk size, and definitely, I mean, it was one season, and it was a few years back, probably the thinnest season that I remember. And a model agent told me that, you know, some of the girls had resorted to eating tissues, which I'd never heard of.
Wow, and there was also this description which you used yourself called Paris thin. What exactly is Paris thin?
Well, I suppose when we were in Australia, we were casting the Australian girls who we thought were a healthy size to be portraying in the magazine. Quite often they wanted to go to Paris and walk the catwalks because that's a huge step for a girl and can really open up her career. But the sizes they needed to be were usually 2 sizes down from the current size that we were shooting them at. So they would therefore go on quite drastic diets to get themselves Paris thin and hopefully cast that show.
Now, in your book, you write,
and now with obesity and whatnot, you have these groups that say, you know, if you say anything about people being overweight, you're fat shaming and you're doing this and you're doing that. And we're normalizing being large like that. Like, when did we say it was okay to be that overweight? They say mind your business and all that. And I'm like, hey, okay. If you want us to mind our business, that's fine. But I'm gonna just be completely honest, but at the end of the day, it's unhealthy. But at the end of the day, it's unhealthy. You can say that people are judging you, or people are shaming you, and you know how everybody's so touchy-feely, everybody's so sensitive now, but it's not right. We have to, and it's just like I can't agree with normalizing, you know, being extremely skinny. Like, how about we normalize loving your body for, you know, what it is. Like, some of us don't have a super fast metabolism, so we can normalize eating better. You know, if you if you want to lose weight in a healthy way, limit yourself to a certain amount of calories. On both sides of the fence, you know, or if you're overweight, we're not going to, you know, talk down to you or make you feel less than, but you should still be trying to better yourself. You should still be trying to do something about it. So it just like really gets you thinking. It's just like, okay, what is it? What's going on in these individuals' minds where they feel like what they're doing, they can't stop. And it's weird because it's like they can't really comprehend. Like from what I researched, it's a TED Talk that I may insert a few clips in here. But it's like where they feel like what they're like, they don't comprehend how deadly their eating habits are. It's like, it's literally like, like in the TED Talk, I believe it's like called flipping a coin, or it's like two sides to the coin. It's just like literally you have one spirit telling this group, you know, you're fat, you're eating too much, where they don't eat at all, and the other is just like, you're not eating enough. Anorexia, you're too small, you're too big. Obese, you're too small. Or I'm not that big. Or I'm not small enough. And it's like, how do you really get through to these people when something is already fixed in their mind? That's why people say it's like, it's an eating disorder, but it's also like mental too. That's scary. It's really, really scary. So I'm going to go ahead and finish my makeup. I'll let you all tune in while I do that. It's going to be, you know, just a very calm, chill look. And then I'll be back with my final thought. Thank you guys. Like I said, it's very, very simple, very, very natural makeup look. Didn't even do any mascara, eyeliner, anything like that. It is very, very late. So that might be why, but I hope you all still enjoyed the look. And let's go ahead and get into the final thought. So my final thought is, I'm not really going to go too in detail with the disorders, because I feel like this is a very touchy subject for a lot of people, and a lot of people in this world do suffer from this, from these eating disorders. But I do want to say, so maybe if society marketed a more realistic or natural body type, then we wouldn't have so many young women and young men striving to be this picture perfect image when it's just so far-fetched. Especially with this day and age with photo editing and all that jazz. And with obesity, Now, if society was to stop saying, oh, you know, you're fat shaming, you're this, you're that, then maybe they'd be able to see how their overeating is really affecting their lives, their family members' lives, and everyone else around them. You know, it's sad, and you don't want to judge people that do have these eating disorders because they're serious, and a lot of times they're more mental than anything. But it is time to have a conversation. It's time to talk about it and really get it out in the open so we can see what's going on and help each other. With that being said, I thank you all for tuning into Chris Codes. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button because you know you want to, and it's free. Notification bell if you will. Comment, subscribe, and yeah, stay tuned. We'll be back at it again with some more videos. Bye.